Hey everyone, my name is Christelle as well. Welcome to the CWC. Do you want to talk about it? Because we can talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about it whether you like it or not on this podcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to the CWC. I am so excited to have you guys back here with me, your host, Christelle Azor. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend, and I am wishing you guys a wonderful, productive week moving forward. So, guys, we are going to get into some things today, okay? We are going to break it down. So, without further ado, let's do it. I want to start by talking about uncomfortable sex talk and relationships. Yeah, personally, I feel like sex is the least discussed topic amongst couples, which is weird because that is the act that actually make you and your partner one. That's when you guys become one. It's through that act because it's not just a physical thing. It's emotional, it's mentally, it's there's so much more that goes into it. So it doesn't get more personal than that. So everybody should be comfortable having the tough, uncomfortable sex talk with their partner. But unfortunately, we don't. Especially as women, I feel like we sweep a lot of things under the rug because we were raised to think that sex is a bad thing. We were raised to pretend that we're not interested in sex, or that if we do partake in that activity, we don't enjoy it. They want us to act like it doesn't exist, and that if you do enjoy it, it's a sin, it's a problem, it's an issue. You get called names, which is sad because if women were not having sex, none of us would exist, honestly, because who else was going to carry us? But that's crazy to me that we were raised to believe that sex is a bad thing and that we should stay away, or that if we do have sex, it should simply be for the pleasure of the men that we're dealing with. Insane, absolutely insane. But we definitely should normalize having that uncomfortable sex talk. But I also think it's because we're not sure how our partner will react if we dare to tell them where we think that they could improve in our sex life. One, men are very unpredictable when it comes to their ego. So who knows how they will retaliate when we tell them things like, hey, we don't particularly enjoy this, the way that you do this or that. Because we've all experienced um, retaliation from men for not giving them our number, for not accepting a drink, for not wanting to dance with them. Sometimes they get pretty crazy. They start saying things like, well, I don't even know why I asked for your number anyways. You ugly anyways. You're fat. You're not even all that. We all seen how men act sometimes when they don't get their way, when they hear no. So of course, sometimes it's easier for us women to just sweep things under the rug because we don't know how our partner will react to it, which is sad because it shouldn't be that way. We should feel safe enough to speak our mind with our partner. And I think that's why it's important to get to know the person that you're dealing with, the person that you're intimate with, so that you can know, so that you can have a so that you can have an idea of how they would react to certain things. Now, obviously, you're not gonna meet a stranger and you take them home, you have sex with them once or twice, and then by the third time you're ready to tell them, hey, I think you could do this better. We don't know that person enough to do that. And just to be safe, it will be best to not have that kind of conversation with someone that we just met, because again, it's a man's world, and we just never know what we're gonna get in return. So we always try to play it safe. So there's that. So somebody asked me, is bad sex reason enough to leave a relationship? And my answer is, it absolutely is. Because if you're not being satisfied in that aspect, you will start to look elsewhere for that satisfaction. Because especially if you already know what it's like to be pleased, if you know what it's like to be fully satisfied sexually, there's no way you're going to be okay with not being satisfied with your next partner. So of course, bad sex is reason enough to leave. But I would suggest having a conversation with your partner prior to making that decision. Of course, it would be best to tell them where you think that they could improve before making any decision. Give them the opportunity to improve themselves and do better before just cutting them loose, you know? Um, so yeah, absolutely. Bad sex is a reason to break up with somebody. I mean, if you're okay to suck it up, accept the fact that you'll never know what an orgasm is if you haven't, or that you'll never have, you'll never experience an orgasm ever again in your life if you already know what it's like, then of course you can suck it up and stay with somebody who is not sexually satisfying you. But once you know that's something, once you know what it feels like, you don't go back. For example, I actually, it wasn't that long ago I find out what an orgasm is. It was not that long ago I learned that I actually can orgasm, because for the most part, my sex life was simply, I thought it was as long as my partner finished, then mission accomplished. That's what I thought it was about. Again, the sex talk is not a thing in my culture personally. So my parents would not sit me down and have any kind of sex conversation with me at all, because it's just like so uncommon in our culture. It's very uncommon. They Matter of fact, if you ask if you ask the old school people how did they get pregnant in my culture, if a child asks their parents how did they get pregnant, they will literally tell you, well, daddy kissed mommy and then you just appear in mommy's belly, which is insane. Like, I'm not saying to tell a 5 years old how it happened, but it's like so crazy the things that they would rather have us believe instead of telling us how things happen. Like, now we don't want a visual of it. We're not trying to picture it, but don't lie and say it was a kiss. It's insane, guys. But yeah, that's my reality. So I for the longest I was just having sex to please my partner. I mean, I am a pleaser in general in relationships. Like, I like to think that I am. I mean, obviously for the right person. I'm not just gonna date anyone and be a pleaser. It's like for the right person. I am a pleaser in general. But I did not know that women actually could have an orgasm. I thought as long as the men finish, that's the whole point of that activity. So I didn't know until I finally experienced it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing on. So, of course, I can never go back to not experiencing that. It's like such a good feeling. It's exhilarating. It's like, whew, like you releasing stress. Like, it's a good feeling. I know that they want women to pretend like we don't like sex. We do. We love sex. We enjoy sex. It's fun. It's a workout. It's a lot that goes into it. And let's not forget that there's a lot of factors that goes into sex. It's not just, hey, put your penis in my vagina and then boom, we have sex. It's mental stimulation, it's comfort, relaxation, like the whole foreplay, all of that, it just there's a lot of factors that goes into it, and it just all feels so good with the right person. Even the environment plays a big role into it. It's just a natural thing that us human enjoy. Women and men both, we enjoy that activity. So for anyone to try to make us feel bad for enjoying something so natural is insane to me, because we were we were created to have sex. That's the way for us to multiply. That's the way for us to connect with each other. We, of course, there we have platonic relationship and friendships and all that stuff, but intimacy is a big part of our being, and it's damaging to try to make anybody believe that enjoying or loving sex is a crime. But yeah, so I really think that we should create um a safe space where we can openly talk about our preferences and how we think things could be improved in the bedroom. It's definitely important. And let's talk about cheating, because now I'm not saying that cheating only happens because of bad sex. Now we all know cheating goes a long way. It's also about the person values and moral. There's more that goes into cheating. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that's the only reason people cheat. Sometimes people cheat simply because they are insecure with themselves, and that every time they experience somebody good, every time they're experiencing someone with a higher frequency, they feel the need to sabotage that. So I can't say it simply because the sex is bad. I'm not saying that's the main thing of cheating, but for the most part, a lot of partners start looking for sexual gratification elsewhere because the sex could be improved, but instead of having that deep conversation, that uncomfortable conversation with their partner, they rather go outside, find somebody else that can please them, that can satisfy them, instead of having that conversation with their partner. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they stop loving their partner. It's just that they love their partner. However, they don't know how to have that kind of conversation, so they feel the need to go out there, which is there's no excuse for that, because I think cheating is something that is intolerable. I would not tolerate that, like, no matter what. I just feel like it's such a deception. It's a it's lack of respect, and it can really mess up with somebody, with your partner's confidence, with their self-esteem. So I don't understand why anybody would choose to do that instead of having a simple conversation with the person that they claim to love. So I will never condone cheating simply because the sex is bad, because you could definitely do something about it. There's other things to do about it, as far as like talking and teaching the person that you're with. I've been in a relationship where I've had to teach my partner how to properly please me, because just because you were a great sex partner to the last person that you were dating does not mean you are a great sex partner to the next person, because everybody is different. What your ex may have enjoyed, I may not necessarily enjoy that. And what I enjoy may be something your ex would never, ever be into or enjoy, because, again, we are all different and unique. So we should always be open to constructive criticism or feedback in that aspect, because it is very crucial that we know exactly how to cater to our partner's needs, because if we don't know, then we are failing at it, and it could you could potentially lose something great simply because you refuse to get out of your comfort zone and have that talk. So I really think we should keep that in mind and have the conversation. What's the worst thing that could happen? Your partner might be hurt a little because they thought the whole time they thought that they were doing great. Because for all you know, you're the first person who told them that they're not doing so good. Everybody else may have lied to them, just let things go, like just sweep things under the rug, and you're probably the first one telling them that they could improve in that area, and that may be life changing for them, and that may be the best thing that ever happened to them. So yes, I strongly encourage that we have those kind of conversation, because I remember when I was teaching my partner how to do certain things that I preferred and that were more enjoyable to me, he was actually thankful. He was like, "Wow, no woman has ever told me how to do that to them." And I was like, "Well, I'm not every woman. You should know that by now. Hello." So yeah, he was actually glad that I told him, and he definitely made improvement. He made a lot of improvement, and it felt good to know that I was being heard. Not only I was being heard, but he also took actions to make sure that I was being satisfied the proper way. So that's one way it could go, but it could have also went in a different route. My partner probably would have said, you know what, you're just hard to please. I just don't know how to please you. You just don't know what you want. Like some people could have could have flipped that script on me and just say, well, I've never been told otherwise. I've had great feedback. I think you're the problem. It could have been a different situation. Yeah, I know that. Which is why I said it's important to know who your partner is prior to having this kind of conversation. You want to make sure you know the person that you're dealing with for sure. And also, guys, while we're on the subject, so I was speaking with one of my guy friends, and I asked him, so would you forgive a woman who cheated on you? And he said, it depends. And I said, depends on what? He said, it depends if she only had intercourse with him. I asked him to elaborate further, and he said, yeah, because for all I know, if she only had intercourse with that person, for all I know, she didn't enjoy it. Just because you had sex doesn't mean you enjoyed it or that it was good. But however, if she partake in oral sex with him, then I definitely would not forgive her. And I said, why is that? He said, because intercourse, anybody can have intercourse with somebody. But when it comes to oral, I know her ways and certain things, only she does it the way that she does it. So now that it will be more detrimental for me to have that picture in mind as opposed to a picture of her having intercourse because she probably didn't like it. She probably didn't even orgasm. So like there's so many ways the intercourse could go that I'm okay with it as opposed to if she does oral sex with him because I know how she does it and I know how it feels and I can never ever forgive her to know that she let somebody else experience that those feelings that she gave me when she does that to me. And guys, I was mind blown. I was like, what? Like, as a woman, I would never, I would never look at it from that perspective. Like, because one, cheating is cheating, period. I don't care if you were flirting with somebody, I don't care if you were leading them on. Like, I don't care what the situation is. I just feel like cheating is cheating. But then again, I am a woman, so I guess I see it from my own point of view. It's like cheating is cheating, no matter how you put it, it's still disrespectful, it's still you breaking your promises to me because when we decided that we were going to be in a monogamous relationship, that means that it's just me and you. So the minute that you felt the need to step out in any kind of way, that's it for me. It's a no. We're done because I don't tolerate that, and I'm very big on not doing things on people not doing things that I would never do to them to me. Because if I know that I would never do it to you, so I hope that you know I would never accept that from you. Simply because my morals won't allow me to do certain things. And now obviously I don't expect everybody to think like me, but I'm just saying I would not tolerate it. So I was very shocked to hear the way he sees things and I was like, wow, sometimes men are different, which is why a lot of times I rather go to my guy friends about advice and hearing how they think because they really have a different outlook on the whole relationship, sex, all of that stuff. Men really have a different outlook on it. And not saying it's always the best outlook, but however, they have their own perspective and I can respect some of the things that they say or do or whatever. That's how they see things. But I don't think any woman would ever say, yeah, I'm okay with my man cheating on me as long as he doesn't go down on the other woman. What? No, I don't think any of us would. Well, if you ladies would, please let me know, but I don't think any of us would. However, that was his take on cheating. As long as his girl does not practice oral sex on that on the next person, he's more most likely to forgive her woman, and that was very interesting. But yeah, guys, I really feel like sex is a huge part of any relationship. Actually, a lot of relationships start with sex first. I'm saying that's the smartest way because but to each his own. But it's a big part, like, because a lot of times relationship don't last if the sex is not good, or if it's being withheld from one partner, or just like, because a lot of couple break up because their partners start to lose interest and they're not interested in having sex anymore, etc. So it is definitely a big deal. Now, back to the cheating situation, I wanted to mention that I feel like oftentimes when our partner cheat on us, the first thing we think of is, what is wrong with me? What did I not do? Or what did I do wrong? Like, the first thing we think is, it's ourselves. We think, okay, I must have done something bad, or that I'm not good looking enough, I'm not confident enough. We start to blame ourselves for something that was completely out of our control. So it's like, it's always been a crazy idea to me that the first thing we do is blame ourselves for somebody else's actions. That's insane to me. But I get it. We are human. The first thing we do is look, within to see, okay, maybe I'm not doing something. When in reality, cheating or any form of deception is more of a reflection of the person who did it than it is a reflection of what you're not doing or what you're doing wrong. It's a reflection of your partner, the morals, the values, what the value, like the lack, like the lack of self confidence. Like, they might have low self esteem, and the only way that they know to boost their confidence is by hurting you. And we also have to understand that some people, they're so used to low vibrational experiences that when they are in the presence of somebody who is operating at a higher frequency, they do not know how to handle that. Therefore, you could be the best person to them, but they're going to find a way to try to break you down or try to humble you and make you feel less than what you are. And it is our job to stay strong, to stay 10 toes down and remember who we are, because people are wicked. Let me tell you, people are wicked. You'd be surprised how good you could be to somebody, and they choose to hurt you just because they're not happy with themselves, just because they're not as confident as you are. The self-esteem is very low. And that's why I also think it's important to be careful who we choose to date. I have this thing where I have never dated a man who was, let's say, not, how can I put that, like, who I never dated a man who was not good looking, because like, for the sake of thinking, okay, maybe if he's not good looking, he's not gonna hurt me, he's gonna be on his best behavior because he should know that he's not good looking. But that's actually wrong. That is so wrong, because sometimes when you think dating down is going to help you, it's going to make your partner faithful, or treat you better, that's actually when they could treat you worse. The fact that you let them think that they could have someone like you, that's such a boost of confidence that sometimes they don't know how to handle that, and they go around and literally disappoint you, because now that they're dating you, you've officially you've officially leveled up the field for them. Now they think they're on your level. So of course they're going to do something to hurt you, because you've given them the confidence to step all over you now, because they probably never in a million years thought they could have somebody like you. But the fact that you dare to give them a chance, so now their ego is boosted up. So baby, they're going out there and they're going to hurt you. And that goes for both women and men. So I never dated men who are not good looking. And it's crazy to me because even though I've dated really good looking men, they always, at some point in the relationship, they always get insecure on me. I was dating this guy and he's very good looking. He was very good looking. He still is. And but like the first thing I said to him, I was like, okay, I don't like insecure men. Like I don't want you to do certain things because I've experienced it before and I don't want to deal with that again. And he said to me, "No, I'm not insecure. I'm very comfortable in my skin." Da, da, da. He was saying all of these things to me. But guys, let me tell you, after a few months of dating, this man was the most insecure man ever. I was at a friend's house cooking because my friends like to have me over to cook for them. They love my cooking. So I was at a friend's house cooking, and of course there were guys there, because my friend invited other friends with their boyfriends, etc. So the guy that I was dating called me, and he was like, "Hey, where you are?" Like he was like, "Hey, where are you?" I was like, I'm still at my friend's house cooking," and he said to me, "But I hear men voices." I said, "Yeah, some of the girls have their boyfriends here." And then he instantly said to me, "FaceTime me." FaceTime me. I laughed. I said, "No, I will not FaceTime you." He said, "Well, then now I don't believe you because if you really are at your friend's house just cooking and there's nothing else going on, why can't you FaceTime me?" I said, "You know what? This conversation is over." And I hung up because why must I FaceTime you in order for you to believe me? That was such an insecure thing of him because who does that? My word should be enough. And if you can't trust me, if you can't trust my words, you can't believe what I'm saying is true, that shows that you have no faith in me and you don't respect me. You don't respect my being as a person. You don't respect me as being my own person. You don't own me. Like I feel like in relationship we should know that we don't own our partners. This person is someone that we are with, but that doesn't mean we own this person. Because if we own our partners, there will be no such thing as divorces. There will be no such thing as breakup. You would just own your partner, and that would be that. But I was I was shocked. I just couldn't believe that it had gotten to that point where this man wanted me to FaceTime him to show him that I am where I say that I am. I mean, I did start seeing, little small things. Cause I remember one time I mentioned something to him. I was like, how would you feel if the person you were dating were to like have an OnlyFans as their form of income? He was like, first of all, I would never allow that. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, because anybody I'm dating should know better. Like, I'm not having my girl having an OnlyFans. I'm like, but what if that's what she wants to do? And then he said to me, well, not on my watch. So I should have known he was controlling and insecure. Like, now I'm not saying any man would be okay with their girlfriend having an OnlyFans. That's their especially if it's for selling body because we all know OnlyFans sell other things. But I'm sure a lot of men would not be okay with their girlfriend selling their body on OnlyFans. But it was just his way of approaching the entire situation, like his tone, the aggressiveness, like that alone, like that alone was enough for me to know he was not comfortable in his skin. He was not as confident as he wanted me to believe that he was. But of course, I didn't take that as a red flag because I kind of understood where he was coming from. I had to put myself in his shoes and think of it like, well, to be honest, I don't think any man would be okay with that. So I chose to just like not think too deeply of his reaction to the question. So I just let it be. But that should have let me know right then that he was an insecure person. So after that whole thing, he started calling me nonstop at my friend's house to the point I had to turn off my phone because I was not gonna give in. If I picked up my phone and allow him to talk, he would think that he had every right to to act the way that he was acting. So I needed him to know that I was not comfortable with the way he was acting. So I didn't want to talk to him. He would have to wait for when I'm ready to talk, because people have a tendency of doing things to you, but then they want to control how you react to it and how you choose to handle the situation. No, no. You took your actions. That was in your control. Whatever that was in your control, you took action and you made it happen the way that you wanted it to happen. So now you are going to allow me the space to handle it the way that I want to handle it, because that's what's in my control. Because people will do things to you and still trying to control how you react to what they did to you, which is insane to me. Because if you I had no control over what you said, so the least I can do is control how I react to it and what I say back. So no, I was like, I'm going to take my time and I will talk to him when I am ready. And unfortunately, by the time I was ready to talk, things only escalated some more. I realized that this man really is insecure overall. He just have a lot of unresolved issues, and that was that. I broke up with him instantly, because I was not gonna. One thing I'm not gonna do is sit around going back and forth. And I feel like an insecure man is a dangerous man, because I've heard stories of men killing women over like by being jealous and insecure. So no, I am not going to ignore the signs and allow men to get to the point of possibly killing me over nonsense. So no, I was not gonna put up with it. And I was like, he's way too handsome to be that insecure. That was not attractive at all. It's like the moment I found out how insecure he was, I just didn't find him attractive physically, mentally, whatever. I just was not interested. It was just such a turn off, because it's like, how do you look so good and yet you are so insecure, you know? So I was not having that. So that was it for us. We broke up, and I move on to bigger and better things, you know? Um so yeah, guys, that's another thing. Insecure people will hurt you. They will do things to you simply because they are not happy within themselves. So don't automatically jump into the thought process that, well, what did I do wrong? Am I the problem? Like, let's not do that. Let's make sure we look at that person, because it says a lot more about them than it will ever say about us. So since I experienced that, I really make sure that when I date people, like, I pay attention to every detail. Like, I saw as if we walking outside and somebody look at me, and I look back and see how they react. Like, if they feel some type of way that other guys are looking at me while we're together. All of that goes into it, because I think sometimes the we ignore the smallest things, but in reality, the smallest things are what's gonna turn into the bigger things, and we're gonna by the time we realize, it's gonna be out of hand. It's gonna be something that we no longer can control. We cannot even solve the issues because it's already gotten so out of hand. So we have to pay attention of the things they say, the things they do, how they react to certain situations. Like, because let me tell you one thing about me, I ask questions. In relationship, I ask questions, and I play a lot of scenarios. A lot of I ask a lot of rhetorical questions and just play a lot of scenarios and see the thoughts process around everything that I say. It's just to know who I'm dealing with. Now, I'm not playing mind games. It's just I really want to know the kind of person that you are and how you would behave in certain setting, in certain situation, in some environment. I need to know who I am dealing with. I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to be in public, and that's when you're embarrassing me simply because I never took the time to really learn and understand who you are. So I make it a my life mission to ask questions and to dig deeper into my sex partners or whoever I'm dealing with in that moment. And so yeah, back to the uncomfortable sex talk, guys. Personally, I have no issue telling my partner, hey, this is what I think you should be doing. And also, I have no issue with my partner telling me what they think I could be doing better, and what they think what they think I could improve on, because I would rather being told, like, given the chance, the opportunity to improve myself, instead of my partner going out there cheating on me or do something, even though, like I said, him cheating on me is definitely not because, if my partner chooses to cheat on me, it wouldn't be because of what I'm not doing. It would say more about him, like, because he didn't even give me the opportunity to better myself and improve myself. So definitely wouldn't take that. I definitely wouldn't put that on me. However, I do appreciate a man coming to me and telling me, hey, babe, I think you can do this better. Hey, babe, I would enjoy this more if you did it this way. And also, I think a lot of times it's like being told what you could do better is probably triggering to some people. Some people might be triggered by being told how to do it, because now they might feel like they're in competition with your ex. They might feel like you thinking of somebody else while you having sex with them. Some people could take it in a whole different um could take it in a different way, which is why I like I said, you must know your partner, because you might think you're doing it the right way, but that person could be having a whole different conversation in their head. Why does he want me to do it this way? Is that how his ex used to do it? Is he thinking of his ex when he's asking me to do this? Sometimes people think of things that way, instead of, some people cannot take constructive criticism without looking at it in a negative aspect. Of course, they could choose to take it positively and say, you know what, I am so glad that my partner is allowing me the chance, the opportunity to better our sex life, to better our relationship, to make our relationship stronger, etc. But no, instead they rather look at it like, man, this man is trying to turn me into his ex. He is still thinking about his ex, because why is he telling me what to do and how to do things in the bedroom? So again, make sure you know your partner, and prior to having this kind of relationship. But other than that, guys, sex is a beautiful thing. Enjoy sex, enjoy your sex life. It is not only good for your health, because we all know sex is a workout. We all know, like, it's built of emotional connection and trust between partners, and like a lot of this goes into it: physical attraction, communication, mental stimulation. All of that goes into being intimate with somebody. And I think that being able to have conversation with your partner is a part of having a strong connection, and just being emotionally open to your partner. Because the same way we are comfortable to tell our partner that we feel like they're not emotionally available to us, or that we feel like they're not catering to our needs, it's the same way that we should be able to say, hey, babe, that thing that you do, I don't particularly enjoy that. I would much rather you if you would do it this way and that way. It should be the same conversation that we like. It should be the same way as we speak on any other aspect in the relationship. The same way you can say, babe, I would appreciate it more if you would do the dishes after I cook. I would appreciate more if you would help me fold the laundry after I load up all of these things. If we can talk about every other thing, I think we should be able to talk about our sex life, because guys, he doesn't get any more personal than that. It does not get any more personal than that. And another thing, that's why when men are saying things like, why does why do you need to know how much I make or what I do for a living? But it's like, your first thought is to get me in the bedroom. Like, it doesn't get any more personal than that. What could be more personal than you entering my body? Your bank account is not that personal. Like, nothing else in life is that much more personal than you entering my body. So a lot of things just doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, so I can't ask you this, but it's okay for me to jump in bed with you the first thing first. Like, it doesn't get any more personal than that. So why can't we talk about that, guys? So I cannot stress this enough. Let's create a safe space for our partner, and I mean men and women. Create a safe space for your partner to be comfortable enough to come to you about certain things. That would prevent so much misunderstanding, and nobody would go unsatisfied, and it would just create a better environment for the entire relationship, because a mental connection is just a good thing to have with your partner. When you feel comfortable, relaxed, you feel safe in the presence of the partner, you feel safe in the presence of your partner, it makes things more enjoyable. It's just a whole different feeling, and also, foreplay, all of this good stuff, guys. All of that good stuff goes into it. Sex is like a much complex thing. It's more complex than we want to think about it. So besides the fact that it helps relieve stress, it's also a way of bonding with your partner, and I don't think there's any other form of bonding that is stronger than that. Well, besides a mother and their child's bond, obviously that's stronger. But other than that, when it comes to intimate relationship, it doesn't get any more personal than that. It is that one thing that, like I said, make you guys one. So it is very important to talk about these kind of things. And also, guys, if you are dealing with insecure people, I would suggest that you guys are very careful, because dealing with insecure people is a very dangerous thing. It could go as far as it could lead to your death. It could destroy your self confidence when in reality you didn't do anything wrong. So be very mindful of the people that you date and learn their characteristics prior to going much further, much deeper than you can ever get out of things. So I will leave you guys with that, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys for listening to the CWC. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Conversations with Christelle Pod. Use our hashtag, and don't forget to like, comment, and share with your family and friends. And be sure to stay connected with us by sending us DM of what you would like to hear us discuss on the upcoming episodes. And we love you guys.